Hi, Jen.
Hi, Chris, brother.
Sister. See how this works.
We are brother and sister, and we're here to talk about really interesting stuff. So,
Want me to let me explain what we're going to be doing right now, and then okay.
Absolutely.
For the last couple of years, few years, and I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this. I've been experiencing joint pain, despite the fact that I've beat my body up as a younger person, growing up. You know, alcohol indulgence, hanging out with friends, eating the wrong foods, and all kinds of stuff like that. As we get older, our body changes and can't handle all these things like they used to when we were younger. So I'm here to talk about something called leaky gut, or
sounds kind of gross.
It isn't kind of. It is kind of gross, but it's really my thing. Yep, leaky gut. Yep, intestinal permeability is the technical word they call it at the hospitals, and doctors use that all the time. But basically, what happens is when we eat certain foods, basically ones that have lectins, and now lectins, let me explain what they are really quickly, are molecules that are razor sharp. They're in a lot of vegetables, in gluten, foods with gluten. Gluten is lectin, basically, equals lectin. So only that's why you see gluten-free, people are into gluten-free now, breads and other stuff. They're looking for that, no GMOs, same thing, gluten, lectins. So what happens is your intestinal tract is 26 feet long. There's 3 parts to it. Certain parts of it have certain jobs to do that absorb certain nutrients and vitamins and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into the details. And let me say right here, I am not a doctor. I'm not an MD. The reason I've been studying this and looking into it and researching it is because I am experiencing a lot of symptoms of what might be leaky gut from reading about it.
Is there not a doctor you're referring to that you just turned me on to?
Well, I've been following for different reasons, but then I learned about his history, Dr. Stephen Gundry, who's got a great book out right now called The Plant Paradox, which I have not yet read, but I need to. So we're going to get it.
Yeah, we're going to get it today.
So what happens is if we eat, and all the foods, 90% of the food in your supermarket is bad. Here's the rule. If it's got a barcode, don't eat it. Basically, that's the truth. All your foods are processed. So let's get back onto the leaky gut thing and what happens when you eat certain foods and how it affects you. You have a very thin layer. Your whole intestinal tract is a very super razor thin layer. And the best way to describe it is, but it's also very tough. Picture a bunch of rugby guys locked arm in arm together as the lining. And that's what keeps things from escaping. Now, when you have lectins in your system, it
like
and certain bacteria and stuff, it forms something called a zonulin, and that's a sugar-based thing. And what it does is it forms on the top layer, and there are like those arms that are holding those rugby guys together. It breaks that apart, which leaves a gap for all 3 different things to get through. Food particles that are undigested, gross, right? LPSs, which I call little pieces of shit.
Give a good thing like why our shit stinks. I don't know, because there's too much bacteria in it. Like really putrid.
That I don't have the answers to yet. I don't have the answers to why it smells so much.
I'm sure, we'll get into that in another.
That's another one. This one I'm going to stick to the
Some people's poop is not offensive, and then other people's poop is extremely offensive. It has to be with how our body's processing what, with how much bacteria is included in whatever's.
Well, we have good bacteria and bad bacteria.
Yeah, but there's an imbalance, isn't there?
Yes, there could be.
So when maybe with people who have very stinky crap, maybe they're just too polluted, too toxic. I don't know.
But that's coming out of the rectum. That's different. We're talking about what happens inside the intestinal tract right now, inside the intestinal tract. So what's happening is it opens up that gap that those guys are holding together, and it gets through. Now, on the other side of your intestinal tract system is 80% of your white blood cells, basically your immune system. Now, what happens when these things break through, and there's lectins, bacterias, which you have 100 trillion bacterias in your intestinal system, minimally. So that leaks out. And also your poop. The LPS is a little piece of shit. You got 3 things that are attacking. And what your white blood cells do, their job to do is to go, wow, all right, we got to fight these. We got to eat these. We got to destroy these things. And So what they do, but when these three things come through all at once, they're overwhelmed. So what they do is they send a signal to all the other white blood cells, which is your immune system, which fights virus, all your diseases and everything, fights everything that's bad in your body. You're sending, hey, it's wartime. So what your white blood cells are doing is they're like little ninjas. They're gearing up. They got their knives out and they're ready to go. They're ready to go to battle. So what happens, and that's inflammation. Because you have white blood cells all over your body, in your joints, everywhere. So when they're on high alert, 4-alarm fire, they're out there and they're ready to fight. And that causes inflammation. So if you ever like can't sleep at night with pain, and what happens with me is one afternoon, this elbow will be hurting. This wrist will be hurting another time. My knee will be hurting the next day. That definitely tells me that I am experiencing leaky gut. So basically that's the, I am going to show you my little thing here, if you could see it. That's like the layer. Those round things up there, that's your thin layer. On the bottom, underneath, you see the 8%. You see the diagram is all I want you to see. Is that's where your 80%
They
of your
can't
cells.
see it, but I could show them real quickly for you. But I don't know if they're going to actually see that. But
That's good.
These are notes on it, but when we get a whiteboard.
These are more for me than they are for you guys. So
Yeah,
these are for me so I can inform you correctly as to what's going on. I'm speaking in layman's terms. I'm not really using a lot of technical terms that doctors would use at a hospital.
Because they're not necessary. Really, everybody should speak in simplistic forms. I think, really quick, just to interrupt, in the English language especially, there's too many words and things are too over-explained. In a lot of paperwork, you'll see medical, like the write-up on it, it's just too much.
And
Most people don't even understand it, and they have to have somebody translate their care, everything. So it's not that we're not intelligent, it's just that, number one, we have to talk about stuff like this because we were programmed wrong about food for industries to make a lot of money. So,
correct.
And then other things that you could bring into that is, why do they want their people so sick? So why would they feed us food and tell us
I'll make that point
food?
in a second.
Okay, I'm done talking about that. I just wanted to reiterate how important that is.
That's good. It's a good point. And another thing why I don't bring a lot of terminologies, medical terminology, is they're all Greek. The medical books were originally written in Greek.
I love Greek, and I'm learning.
Well,
that
I don't
language.
know. I don't read Greek. I don't understand it.
I'm learning it because of Hillman out there, and now he got me wanted to learn it. I love it.
Okay, so a lot of people, the Dr. Gundry that I mentioned, a lot of people, he's a heart surgeon. He also was one of the first guys to do transplants for artificial hearts. He also created a stent for bypasses. That's his design, that's his patent. And when he started his career as a doctor, he was 75, 80 pounds overweight. He also was experiencing a lot. His first year in Yale, he said on a podcast I just seen that he missed 3 months of school because he was so sick. So after being a surgeon,
but he was doing healthy things, and then he was puzzled why he was feeling so sick.
It's diet. Everything is diet. Even Socrates said most ailments in the human body come from the gut. They didn't know leaky gut at the time, but he said come from the gut.
Right.
So, but now we've done testing. We've researched it more. A few doctors have, and that brings me into the reason why it's taken so long to figure out how to cure this. Is there's a handful of doctors that would go to these meetings at these seminars, and basically they're all made to keep you on medications and promote medications. And a handful of these doctors, Gundry included, said, why aren't we trying to prevent this problem from happening so you don't have to have that bypass, so you don't have to have that operation, so we don't have to fix the problem after it's already manifested itself as a major problem in your body. So, but it does, the good news, there is good news about this. This can be reversed no matter what age you are. And it all has to do with eating healthy and not eating the wrong foods. Lectins, no good. You can go online and look up a lot of people on different foods. Milk, we're not meant to drink milk as adults. It's got growth hormones in it because it's meant for babies. Babies need to grow. They grow rapidly. We grow slow as we get older. So that's just an example. Like tomatoes, eggplants have lectins. The reason for that is because certain fruit, certain vegetables, they have seeds in them. They don't want you to eat their seeds. They want to thrive and grow. If you eat them, they're not going to be able to reproduce and propagate.
So the seeds are protected with certain toxins, so
It's
to
called
keep us away
lectins.
from them.
It's all lectins.
The lectins. So in other words, he was telling me about, because we like to make salsa, and I was like, no tomatoes anymore. And he goes, nope, it's just the peel and the seeds. And I was like,
you can use the meat.
Oh my goodness.
As a matter of fact, if you go in Italy, that's how they do their sauces. They peel them and they de-seed them.
I learned to do that through Gaspari's parents.
Yeah.
We would make our own homemade sauce, and we would get the seeds and the skin out.
Yeah. So basically, and I'm not trying to pump this guy, but he's got a book out called The Plant Paradox. If you want to learn about
I cannot wait to get it.
we'll order it today.
Yeah, we're going to order it today. But maybe I could talk about why I want to start this diet as well.
Sure. I'm gonna wrap my part up in about 2 seconds.
Okay.
So like I said, I'm a lay person. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I just wanted to give you a basic understanding as to what's happening in your intestines. That layer is being permeated by toxins and poop, LPSs, and once all that gets through, that 80% can't handle it, and it sends that signal out, like I said before, to all your other cells. And that's what causes chronic inflammation. And that's now, in my next video about this, I'm going to have a list of foods you should eat and can't eat if you want to help eliminate this problem. Because you need to get on a healthy diet.
And if you want to know right away, just go to and watch Dr. Guthrie and
Gundry, Gundry.
I just got introduced to him, so
I know.
But I've been doing a lot of things because I've been following, I forget his name, the one guy, he died in prison because he was doing sea moss and it was helping people with their joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got on that. My body always feels amazing. So when it doesn't, I wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
So usually my body always feels good, but what doesn't is my teeth and my mouth. So I'm having a lot of issues with this. So I'm wondering if I might have a certain type of leaky gut syndrome that is causing this. And I also have a trigger finger I've been working on for 2 months now. I threw it out bowling. I did learn to bowl with my left hand. You know, I'm addicted to that game. I'm not giving it up. So, but my trigger finger, 2 months, and look, I still cannot bend it. It won't go. So he also had a trigger finger, and miraculously, when he did a certain diet, they can't see it. Stop interrupting me. But anyway, go up there. No.
All right, this is funny. Let me do this.
My brother's.
I didn't want to interrupt my sister because, you know how sisters and brothers can be sometimes. So I just basically wanted to say the two.
I'll do it.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Now sit your ass back down and let's continue.
I love my brother. Anyway.
No, she doesn't.
So basically.
Yeah, she does.
So basically, when you do he had this, but I think it was this one, and he's a heart surgeon. You do not want to have a trigger finger when you're a heart surgeon. I used to be a nurse. You want steady hands. But anyway, now I'm into natural healing, all natural. Tell
them what a trigger finger actually feels like and what it does.
It hurts like a mother flubber.
It's like a catches when you try to.
Well,
right?
First of all, there's a nodule there because it's catching. It's not going through the little hole that tendons go through, your pulley system. And if you look up pictures online, they'll show you a really good picture. It's catching, and it's very painful. I massage it every day. It's become a part of my life. But his magically went away on his diet, on his regimen. So I'm going to follow it.
Oh, yeah, I would.
And I'm going to experiment on myself with it because it has been successful for so many people. And I want my trigger finger healed like today.
Yesterday.
Yesterday and the day before that and 2 months ago. I wanted it healed immediately. So, but our bodies cannot heal if we're not feeding it right. And we're feeding it things purposely created that tear our systems down inside. And then we're stuck at doctors that don't know what they're doing because they're just following protocol. And thank goodness for this doctor and many like him that break protocol.
Basically a handful,
to
not many.
say something as he says. why do we have to keep treating people? Why can't we teach them prevention? And yes, I agree with that. Very, very much so. So this was about leaky gut and poop and
a little offshoots about different things.
And little offshoots about whatever.
So if you like the content and you like what we're talking about and you want to hear more about different diversified subjects, because we'll talk about many different things as time goes on. And if you really enjoy this, don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment. We'll appreciate it.
Well, we were going to name the podcast Anything About Everything.
There you go.
Where we were just going to, that's what we were going to do. We just talk about anything that pops up, because authenticity in conversation is never planned.
That's right.
It's just, if you want to be the truly authentic, you just get on and talk from your heart. Just prepare ourselves always, I say, to be positive, because we could give a lot of bad news. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in this world, but we don't want to leave people on a low note, because there's always hope and there's always a chance that we can turn around. Like my brother said, you're never too late to turn things around. Our bodies are incredible. And if we feed it the right stuff, we can turn things around. So if you're interested in getting better and performing in life at your utmost performance levels, or if you want to just go off and be sick and complain every day because you just like eating the things you do and you're more dedicated to your palate than your health, then whatever you want to do. But we say, if you're really tired of feeling sick and not being able to function, then tune in and let's take the journey together. And that's
all right. Until next time.